the Unapologetically Aligned Woman, the podcast for the woman who was never meant to play small. I'm Tiffany Silvestri, shadow alchemist, soul mentor, and your guide into deeper power, emotional mastery, and unapologetic leadership. Around here, we don't do surface level. We strip back the conditioning, the self-doubt, and the good girl programming so you can rise into your full expression, wealth, and truth. If you're ready to break cycles, reclaim your fire, and lead on your own damn terms, you're exactly where you're meant to be right now. Let's begin. This episode is for the woman standing in the ashes of what used to be her safe life. The woman who feels like everything is burning, but deep down knows this isn't the end. It's the descent. It's the portal. This is not your breakdown. It is your becoming. If your life feels like it's falling apart, if the structures, roles, and relationships you once clung to are crumbling beneath your feet, I want you to know this. You are not broken. You are being initiated. You are in the fire, and that fire isn't here to destroy you. It's here to burn away every lie you ever believed about who you had to be. And if you're nodding right now, if this descent feels personal, it might be written in the stars. Astrology shows us that these underworld moments are rarely random. If you are in the fire, check what and where Pluto, Saturn, and your South Node are playing in your chart right now. A Pluto transit over your moon, sun, or your IC, that is soul level death and rebirth. A Saturn return or Saturn transit through your 12th or 4th house is stripping away of false identity, initiating you into your truth. And maybe a South Node eclipse or activation, that's karmic. Past life, the kind of release you can't logic your own way through. These are not breakdowns. They are cosmic assignments. The fire isn't destroying you, it's refining you. And astrology always reminds us you are not lost, you are initiating. I remember the exact moment my own descent began. It looked like betrayal, confusion, and losing everything I thought made me valuable. I was holding together a life that no longer fit, wearing a mask of the good girl, perfectionist Virgo, and nurturing Cancerian who put everybody else ahead of myself. But inside I was suffocating. When it all came crashing down, with my business, relationships, and even my own identity started to unravel, I thought I was failing at my life. But looking back now, I wasn't failing. I was finally being freed. That fire burned through everything that wasn't aligned with who I truly am. And when I finally surrendered to it, when I stopped trying to fix it or escape it, I met the most powerful version of myself. Now, that's not to say that I'm not still going through it, because life is a never-ending lesson. But I found myself as a woman who no longer needed to explain, prove, or pretend. I rose from that fire, not in spite of it. A descent is not a detour. It's your way. We've been taught that breakdowns mean we're doing something wrong, that we need to get back on track, find stability, fix what's falling apart. But what if what is falling apart was never yours to begin with? What if the job or a relationship, and this might be a family relationship, so just keep that in mind, the version of success you were chasing was built from someone else's blueprint? It's so often that we take on what everyone tells us we're good at. I've done it numerous times. I've changed my path 100 times because of other people's opinions. But let me tell you this. You were never meant to fit into a system that thrives on your own suppression. You were meant to burn them all down and build it up from the soul. This is where the old self dies. This is where your nervous system learns to anchor into truth instead of survival. This is where you stop outsourcing your worth and start owning your power. Because the descent strips you bare. It takes you into the shadows, the grief, the parts you've been too afraid to feel, and it forces you to meet yourself. Not the performative version or the polished one, the raw, wild, powerful woman who's been waiting underneath it all. The world doesn't need you to stay strong. It needs you to surrender to your becoming, because that's where true power lives. I invite you to close your eyes for a moment if you're in a place to do so. Drop down into your body and take a deep breath. Exhale everything that is not yours to carry. Now breathe into your womb space, the seat of your power, your truth, and your fire. And ask yourself, where am I still clinging to what wants to be burned? What am I afraid will happen if I fully let go? And what version of me is waiting to rise on the other side? Allow the answers to come. Do not force them, and do not allow your brain and ego to create them. Let the fire speak. Let it clear the path. This is your call to stop running from the fire and start rising from it. You already know it's time. No more playing small. No more waiting for permission. This is your invitation to trust the descent, to let it initiate you into the woman you came into this life to be. Powerful, untamed, and unapologetic. She doesn't emerge because life stayed easy. She rises because she let it all fall. If this episode cracked something open within you, if you're in the fire and you know this is your moment to reclaim everything that you've lost trying to be enough, then my shadow alchemy sessions are always open for you. This is where we get to the root, where we meet the shadows with reverence and turn them into power. This is for the woman who is done with the surface level healing and ready to rise into her full, wild truth. And if you're ready to go deeper, head over to the show notes to explore the next level of your reclamation. You don't need any more permission. You need to trust what you already know. This is your time. And if you want to reach out, please send me an instant message on Instagram at Tiffany_Silvestri. The link is all in the show notes, and I will see you in the next episode.